Who do you think those certain people are, Joe, that he's talking about? Do you think it's those three?
I think it's those three. And a little bit of Ben Thompson too, because yeah, he came back in the fourth to be part of the closing group as they were trying to close it out. But Ime at the beginning of the game, he yanks them all.
More turnovers than points.
Yeah, he puts them back in, and he has to yank them all again.
This month of February, it has been absolutely brutal for the Houston Rockets. Brutal.
Yeah, that was a tough one last night.
I mean, okay, I get it. It's the Warriors, and historically, the Warriors have done well against you. They take 3 or 4 against you this year. The only game you win, as Craig Ackerman said coming in, is that NBA Cup game. But this game really wasn't competitive at all till the end because you had your backups in. Ime Udoka was trying to send a message to his starters. And look, it's just been a long month. This team has exceeded a lot of expectations, but they're definitely coming back towards the expectations we actually had for them going into the year. And I'm getting tired of hearing Ime Udoka sound tired with this Rockets team.
Yeah, I mean, they were the 2 seed in the West, and now they've quickly fallen to the 4 seed. The Lakers are right behind them, a half game going to the break. So in the standings, like in terms of just like best matchups and everything, getting a play-in team, that stuff is dwindling quickly. You didn't make any moves at the deadline, which I was fine with. And
we got to see more Aaron Holiday last night.
Yeah, we got to see more Aaron Holiday.
The Aaron Holiday show. Inside the paint, inside the three-point line, he's great. Outside the three-point line, please stop, sir.
Yeah, it's not
a Holiday.
It's not good. But hopefully Jabari Smith will be cleared for contact here in a couple days and can return after the All-Star break. Fred VanVleet could be back soon.
That's more important.
Both those things are good things.
Yeah.
And then we can really get a look at what the Rockets are going to be the rest of the season. Because this version without Fred, it's clear they stink without Fred VanVleet.
Ime Udoka, after the game, opened up his press conference talking about, in quotation marks, certain people.
Could be mentally and physically fried, certain people, certain players. But yeah, I don't know. Everybody's in this situation right now. Going into All-Star break, everybody's playing. They played a back-to-back yesterday in Dallas. But they came out with some pace and effort and unselfishness and ball movement, and we didn't. And so, really, I don't know. It can be, I may be right or wrong about that our guys are tired. But like I said, everybody's going through it right now, so the lack of competitiveness is not really an excuse. Everybody's dealing with the same things. We're a little injured, obviously, but it's night and day, obviously, seeing the bench come in and play with that pace and the effort and physicality and ball movement, togetherness, unselfishness, all those things.
The certain people, I'm guessing, are Jalen Green, who played just 22 minutes, Dillon Brooks, who played just 21 minutes. At least you saw Amen Thompson at the very end of the game, but he only scored 4 the whole way. And Alperen Şengün, not a good sign when multiple starters are only playing in the 20s for you. Ime Udoka was clearly trying to make a point. Who do you think those certain people are, Joe, that he's talking about? Do you think it's those three?
I think it's those three. And a little bit of Ben Thompson too, because yeah, he came back in the fourth to be part of the closing group as they were trying to close it out. But Ime at the beginning of the game, he yanks them all.
More turnovers than points.
Yeah, he puts them back in, and he has to yank them all again. And then they don't play. I mean, Nate Williams played 18 minutes.
I didn't know who that is.
Same.
And he had 11 points. Jock Landale and Nate Williams carrying the Houston Rockets.
Yeah, Jae'Sean Tate, 27 minutes. Jeff Green, the dinosaur, the guy who's been in the league since Kevin Durant, the rookies with Kevin Durant, played 21 minutes last night.
Mm-hmm.
Ken Whitmore only played 10 minutes, so I think he's got to fall into that category too a little bit. And Steven Adams, who only played 6 minutes in last game.
With Adams, I almost get it because he's played for such a long period of time.
Sure.
But, yeah, and I know a lot of people are mad online. Why isn't Reed Sheppard getting to play for Aaron Holiday? Because Aaron Holiday was so bad from outside. And like last night, I kind of asked that same question. But this is what's getting frustrating with Ime Udoka, and I'm sure frustrating for Ime Udoka. So I do tend to have his side here. It's got to be annoying for a month saying the same thing over and over again. And now these guys get the All-Star break to get a little rest, recollect themselves, they better come out of it on the other side actually having listened to the stuff that he's saying to them, which is basically calling them a bunch of soft boys.
Well, especially with their schedule, they come out with a back-to-back on the 21st and 22nd. Then they play another back-to-back on the 25th and 26th. And then they play another back-to-back on the 3rd and the 4th of March. So if being tired in back-to-back games is a problem for this team, then things aren't going to get much better for this team coming out of the All-Star break. So you have to rest. You have to, but again, they're like 20 years old, most of this team. I mean, AJ just graduated college, and like half the roster is younger than him. So it's like, I get it. It's the NBA. It is a lot to deal with, I'm sure, but to have that poor of an effort and this stretch of basketball going back to January 30th, where they've only won 2 games since then, going into the All-Star break, they've lost, like 2-7 in their last 9, something like that. They're just not playing good basketball. And specifically, Jalen Green. This is where it makes me question of like the long-term fit with Ime Udoka. Like, it's great he plays every day, but he's the one guy to where effort, energy, good ball movement, those are Steven Silas era problems. And a lot of that feel like that reared its head last night in the game versus the Warriors. And you saw a team where like that's what you want to be still is Golden State. Like, they passed the ball really well. Like Ime said, they came out with a great pace. The Rockets didn't do that. And Fred VanVleet being hurt shouldn't cause all these problems.
They do need a better point guard as a backup. But, yeah, I mean, Aaron Holiday was actually carrying you last night. Aaron Holiday led the team in points by a significant margin. He had 12 points more than anybody else on the team, and he couldn't hit a shot from outside.